Then I can
I'll connect through mobile only, not through laptop. I'll keep this laptop on. I'll go out. I'll
Mm-hmm.
connect through the mobile, the Zoom.
Okay then.
Okay. Oh, Bhavesh, ready now?
Yes.
Yes. I'll keep this laptop on. You can approve that request recording.
Yes, Mahesh. When I will go ahead with the session, I will like, start the recording itself.
టీజర్ అయితే నచ్చింది. డార్లింగ్ స్క్రీన్ ప్రెసెన్స్ ఫన్ మోడ్ లో చూడడం ఇంకా బాగుంది. జస్ట్ ఒక్కటి ఏంటి అంటే తీసుకుని రాగలుగుతారు. మారుతి గారు ఇచ్చిన మాట నిలబడతారు. ప్రభాస్ బిగ్గెస్ట్ స్టార్ అయినా రిస్క్ ఎప్పుడు చేయడం ఆపలేదు.
Guys,
బాహుబలి
please be on mute.
సుజిత్ తో చేయడం, తర్వాత లవ్ స్టోరీ చేయడం, ఆ తర్వాత రాముడి
Guys, we'll be starting the session exactly at 8:10. Okay, so it's already 8:10. So let me go ahead and start the session. Welcome, guys. Welcome to day 3 of Data Analytics with Gen AI training program. I hope each one of you is doing great. Now, let me go ahead and share my screen. Do confirm me if you can see the screen. 1 second. So this is the previous notebook file. I mean, previous session notebook file, what we have discussed in the previous session. So I'm pointing out to this notebook file. Guys, kindly confirm me if you can see this notebook file. If possible, please confirm me through the chat. Harish, anyone? Okay, fine. Thank you. So before I go ahead and start with the main session, I mean today's topic, let's recap what we have studied in the previous session. Because today's session is a follow-up of whatever we have done in the previous session. So in the previous session, okay, so anyone can help me what we have done in the previous call? See, guys, it is very much important that you interact with me, especially doing this live session, because the more you will interact, the maximum benefit you will receive from this session. So if you have attended the previous call, uh, I mean previous meeting, so if you can recap. Okay, variable assignment operator. Okay, so what I will do, I will just take couple of minutes and I will uh, recap the topic that we have covered in the previous session. See, in the previous call, I mean in the previous session, we first of all discuss about various pre-built environment, different kind of pre-built environment we have discussed. So what are these pre-built environment? These are the third party environment. They are providing you the infrastructure. They are providing you the facility through which you can write and execute the code. So we have explored Google Colab, we have explored Jupyter Light, and there are n number of online Jupyter notebook available. So these are the pre-built environment. So what is the benefit of using this pre-built environment? You no need to do any kind of configuration. You no need to do any kind of setting on your machine. Just access Google Colab, access this online Jupyter notebook and start your coding journey. If you want to work on any project, you can start. Go ahead and you can start. You don't need to do any kind of configuration or any kind of installation on your machine. So that is a benefit of pre-built environment. So we have explored different kind of pre-built environment. What else? Then I get into the technical topic. I discuss about variable. I discuss how Ola applications, Uber applications is using variable to store data. And once they are able to store data, how they are performing data manipulation. So we have understood variable topic with the help of real-time application, that is Ola and Uber application. See guys, whatever application you are seeing on your mobile phone, each and every application is using variable to store data. Understood? So we discuss about variable. Then we get into the technical topic, how to define variable, how to call out variable, how to print variable, what is happening in the back end when I'm defining the variable, what is happening in the memory. We have seen all the back end process. When we go ahead and update the variable, what happened in the background. We have seen chain assignment process. That is how we can go ahead and assign a single value in a multiple line of code. Sorry, 1 second. How we can go ahead and assign a single value to a multiple variable in single line of code. So one question I have, guys, for example, I have written this code in the previous session, x equals to y equals to 5. So the purpose of this code is uh, I want to assign a single value, that is 5, to a multiple variable in the single line of code. That's why I have written this piece of code. Now let's suppose I have written x equals to 5 and y equals to 5. Even these two pieces of code is working fine for me. X is holding 5, y is holding 5. Then what is the purpose of writing the code in this format? Anyone? Anyone can help me to understand? If you want, I can repeat the requirement. So the requirement is if I can write x equals to 5, y equals to 5, and it is working fine. X can hold value 5, y can hold value 5. Then what is the point of writing the same code in single line of, like in a single line? Any comment? See, it is completely fine if you make a mistake, but at least if you interact, you will get a clarity. Vijaya, you want to say anything?
Sorry, come again, Sunil.
Okay, fine. So in the previous session, I hope you were available in the previous session. So I have written this piece of code, and the purpose of writing this piece of code is I have a data value 5, and I want to assign this data value 5 to variable x and variable y.
Yeah.
But the intention was, the requirement was to do this assignment operation in single line of code.
Right. So it goes from right to left, right? So that's the reason you have the value gets assigned for both x and y.
That I understood, but my question is different. For example, this two line of code is working like doing the same task. Can you see this highlighted code, like highlighted?
Right.
These two piece of line is doing the same task. Even this single line of code is also doing the same task. So I'm not right. I'm not telling you how this is happening. I'm not asking the backend process. I'm asking what is the point of writing the code in single line?
Better readability.
Okay.
Better
Anything
readability.
else? Anyone? Anything else? One of the reason can be better readability. Yep. See, the purpose of writing the code is to improve the time complexity and space complexity. Understood? See, let's suppose in the company you have written the code and someone else has also written the code, and both the code is generating the similar kind of output. Now your code will be evaluated. What is the amount of space your code is taking in the memory? And what is the execution time? And on basis of these two factors, your code will get reviewed and it will push in the production. Understood? So in order to reduce the uh, space complexity, we have written it in the single line of code. Do let me know, guys, if you have any doubt till here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope I'm able to explain you what is the reason of writing this code in a single line. Then we have gone ahead and try to understand how to assign multiple value to a multiple variable. What is binding process in the backend binding process is working. Then we can check the data type of variable. If a variable is holding a data, I want to check what is the data type of variable. For example, m is holding 4. What is 4? 4 is an integer. So data type is int. So int stands for integer. So right now, whatever variable we have created, all are integer. For example, 4, 5, 10, 4, 5, 6. These are the integer value. So m, n, p, these are the variable that hold integer data. What else we have seen? We have also gone ahead and created a variable that hold string data. String data. So very simple, variable name equals to and string data. What is string data? Anything within single quotation is a string. Anything within single triple quotation is a string. Anything within double quotation is also a string. Anything within double triple quotation is a string. So we have seen four different way of creating string, how to assign string data value to a variable. Let me go ahead. Okay. So we have seen this use case. So see, as already I mentioned, anything within double quotation is a string. So this is a string. But
I
in
have a
bit,
question,
yes,
Sunil.
Vijay. Yep,
So
tell
say,
me.
for example, you have highlighted, right? That
Which one?
is a variable. That is a variable. R is equal to string variable is what you have highlighted. So
Mhm.
if I get the similar content from, say, for example, I have two different values, right? One is, so R is getting the value with the same context or content from a different variable. How will that be handled? Because I'll not have double quotations or triple quotations in that, right? So how will that be handled?
Okay, just 1 second. You repeat your requirement. One
So,
second. Yep.
so R, you have a content. Now,
Hmm.
say for example, okay, put a P is equal to whatever content you have. R is equal to P.
Let's say p is equals to, let's suppose this.
Yeah.
Yep.
With the how are you is there, right?
Hmm.
That content is coming from P and R you are referring from P.
So it will work. See, I will just 1 second. I understood the requirement. 1 second. Let me delete this cell. Let's suppose we have this R. We have this R, and your requirement is I want to create another variable P. I want to create another variable P such that data in variable P is coming from R.
Yes, that's right.
It's very simple. Just you run this piece of code. So what is happening? The same thing. What I explained. Uh, uh, what I
Because
have
over here,
explained
what will
on the.
happen is that how are you, you'll only get how are you without quotes. Isn't that correct?
It is. See what? Just 1 second. Let me close this. Pop-up is coming on my screen. Okay. So for example, I have written P equals to R. Let me run this piece of code.
Right.
Okay, R is not defined because 1 second. Let me run this R now. Now it is working fine. You can see. Let's
Oh,
suppose
okay.
I want to
Okay.
print P. I want to print P. It will get printed. So
Okay.
how it is
Got it.
working, I will tell you the same thing, the same concept which I've explained you on day one. It's I mean in previous session. R is holding a data.
Hmm.
R is holding a data, and this is the data R is holding. Understood? Now assignment always happen from right to left. Assignment always happen from right to left. So
Okay.
whatever
Okay.
data R is holding, it will get assigned to variable P. Got it? It will
Okay.
get assigned to
Got
variable
it.
P, and uh, you can call variable P and you can print the value.
Got it. Thank you.
Hmm. So this is called reassignment. This particular property is called reassignment. 1 second. Reassignment. Whatever value we have in R, I'm reassigning to P.
Sure.
Understood?
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now what I will do, I will just go ahead with the main session. Just 1 second, guys. I need a break of 30 seconds. I just need to take find my pen tab because I need to explain couple of concept, and for in order to explain that concept, pen tab is required. Just give me 30 seconds. Yes, guys, I'm back now. So we have seen how to create a variable that hold integer data, how to create a variable that hold string data. We have performed different kind of operation also on variable. Now what we will do today, I will go ahead and create a variable that hold floating point value and be interactive, guys. Whatever I'm teaching you, it is very much basic. It is very much basic and it is very much foundational. Understood? And but it is very much important. Why? Because once you understand the backend process, what is happening in the background, going forward, if you uh, get into the product, I mean, building the project, if you find any error message, you can quickly resolve those error message with lot of confidence and clarity. So it is very much important to pay attention on the basics and foundation. Maybe for next 5 to 8 session, I will be covering the foundation and the basic stuff. Although this is very much important, especially for those who want to get into the coding part. Now, I want to create a variable that hold floating point value. Till now, I have created a variable that hold integer value, that hold string value. So anyone can help me to understand what is floating point value? It is
Value
completely
is
fine.
um, uh, decimal values.
Yes, very
It,
true.
it
See,
contains
in
decimal
programming
state.
language, yeah, in programming language, floating point decimal values are called floating point value. Very simple. In programming language, decimal values are called floating point value. In layman term, we can say decimal value, but in context of programming, decimal value are called floating point value. Now, how we can go ahead and create it? It's very simple. Variable name, assignment operator, and a floating point value. That is a decimal value. Let's suppose decimal value is 1.55. And we have to run this piece of code. In order to run this piece of code, shift plus enter. And done. How to print it? Just call the variable. I'm able to print it. So I hope you can go ahead and create a variable that hold floating point value. Now, I want to create a variable that hold Boolean value. So in programming language, there are two Boolean value. Is true, another one is false. These are very simple concept. For example, y variable name equals to true. T TRUE. Make sure that T is capital. Whenever you're writing true, T should be in uppercase. Let me run this. Let me print y. It's true. If T is in lowercase, system will pop up an error message. System will pop up an error message. For example, if I'm writing like this, for example, T is in lowercase. So actually this true is not the Boolean value. This true is the Boolean value. Understood? So whenever you're writing true, make sure T should be in uppercase. Let me run this piece of code. name error. Why we receive name error? Understood? So another Boolean value called false. So and here also F should be capital. If F is small, it will pop up an error message. Why error message? Because in Python programming language, we have two Boolean value, this true with T in uppercase, and second one is this false, where F is in uppercase. So we have seen how to create a variable that hold Boolean value. We have seen how we can go ahead and create a variable that hold uh, floating point value. Now, there is a complex number. I hope all of you have studied complex number in your 12th standard or maybe in your 11th standard. So the same complex number we'll be seeing here. Let's suppose I want to create a variable that hold a complex number. So what is the process? A equals to, what is complex number? Anyone? Any idea? What is complex number? Okay, so I assume like you're not aware about complex number. See guys, complex number is a combination of real number and imaginary number. So maybe in your 11th standard, you have seen like 3 plus 4 I. I stands for iota. Here we will not write I, here we will write J. So in place of I, we will write J. So 3 is a real number and 4J is an imaginary number. So this is the complex number. If I run this piece of code, what will happen? Variable A will hold a complex number. I mean a complex data value. How to print it? Just call the variable. You can print it. Now, let's suppose I want to access 3. I want to print only 3. I don't want to print entire complex number. What is the process? Very simple. A dot, as you'll press dot, it will pop up the functions. So what is A? A is a variable that is holding a complex number. So these are the functions with respect to complex number. Let's suppose I select real. Let me run this. I'm able to print the real value. So what I mentioned, complex number is a combination of real number and imaginary number. A dot imaginary. For this, I will select this function, imag. Let me run this. I can access the imaginary part, that is 4. Understood, guys? I hope I am able to explain you what is complex number, how to create a variable that hold complex data value, how you can access uh, the real part of complex number, how you can access the imaginary part of the complex number. See, these things are very much easy. Don't worry. Just if you are not aware, it is completely fine. If you practice it once or twice, it will get into your head. Now, guys, be careful. Now, a very important concept is going to come. Very important and very interesting. So let's say I have written x equals to 1. I have written x equals to 1. It means integer data value is assigned to x. Very simple. Now, if I run this piece of code, what will happen? That this integer data value is assigned to x. Now, I want to check the type of x. What is the data type of x? Tell me, guys, what is the data type of x? Integer. Got it? Now, on same x, what I will do, I will assign 2.1. What is 2.1? 2.1 is a floating point value. Now I will run type function. Now I will check the type of x. This time type of x is float. Again, what I will do, I will assign x equals to high. So what is this high? This high is a string. Again, I will call type function on x. This time data type is string. Now, again, I will call X, and this time I will assign a complex number, 4 plus 8J. Got it, guys? Now, on this, I will again pass the type function. So this time data type is complex. So I have assigned 1 to a variable X, and I check the data type, it was integer. Then on the same X, I have assigned a floating point value. Then I have checked it was floating type variable. Then I have assigned string to same X. Then data type of X got changed from float, it got changed to string. Now on same X, I have gone ahead and assigned complex number. Then this time the data type is complex. So what exactly I'm doing here? Anyone can explain me? Anyone can help me to understand what exactly I'm doing here?
We just did override on X all the time.
So I'm changing the data type of X from integer to float, float to string, string to complex number. The same thing I'm doing now here. I'm changing the data type now. Firstly, the data type of X was integer. Then I change it to float. Then I change it to string. Then I change it to complex number. See guys, I will open this whiteboard. I will try to explain what exactly I'm trying to perform. Do let me know if you can see this whiteboard. Please confirm me. Are you able to see this whiteboard?
Yes.
Okay, fine. See, I will write the code here. What I have done initially, I have taken X, I have assigned 1, then I have called the type function, and then I have passed X. Then I receive the output as int. Do let me know if you have any question. You can you can stop me in between. Understood? I have defined X equals to 1. I call the type function. It is giving me output as integer. It simply means X is holding an integer data value. Then on same X, I assign 2.1. Again, I call type function. This time I'm receiving float. Again, on same X, I have assigned string. Why this is string? Because this is within single quotation. Then I'm calling type function again on this X. And this time I'm getting str. No. Again on same X, I'm assigning some complex number. Again, I'm calling type function. And this time I'm getting complex number as a data type. So what exactly I'm doing here with the help of this code? See guys, I'm trying to change the data type of variable. I'm trying to change the data type of X. So how this is possible? If just 1 second, I'm trying to change the data type of X at runtime. At runtime, I'm trying to change the data type of X. Initially, it was integer, then it became float, then it became string, then it became complex number. I mean, complex. Now you tell me how this is feasible in Python programming language. Although I'm able to do it, but why I'm not getting any error message? For example, if I talk about Java, if I talk about C or C++ or C Sharp or JavaScript, if I talk about these programming language, so these programming language are static type. I'll explain you what is static type. I will give you the entire context. Don't worry. So static type means, for example, I have a variable x. If I have assigned a value 1, if I have a variable x and I have assigned a value 1, then I have to do the declaration int. Why int? Because x is holding integer value. And what do you mean by int x? Int x simply means that this x will hold only integer value. This x will not hold any string, any float value, nothing. Suppose in Java or in any of this programming language, if I write in this format, int x equals to 2.1, it will give the error message. If I write int x equals to high, it will give me the error message. Why? Because these language are static type language. Static type language. Now, if you look at Python, just I no need to do any kind of declaration. Just you can switch the data type of variable. So why I'm able to do it? Because Python is dynamically typed language. Dynamically typed language. Understood? See, this is very much important. I'm telling you. Why? Because you can see Python is dynamically typed language and these language are static type language. So what is the benefit? What is the advantage of having dynamically typed language? You can see here I have to write very less code. You can see this code, you can see this code, and you can see this code. So first advantage is I have to write less code. What is the second advantage? My codes are more flexible. My codes are more flexible. Flexible. Understood? What is the third? Flexible, you can see now, like I can easily switch from integer to float, float to string, but here it is not feasible. For example, I want to assign a floating point value. I have to write float x equals to 2.1. I have to assign a string. I have to write str x equals to high. But in Python, you can simply write x equals to high, x equals to complex number. So Python programming language is dynamically typed language. So what is the advantage of dynamically typed language? You have to write less code. It is more flexible and it is more robust. So this is one of the advantage. This is one of the feature of Python programming language. Therefore, Python language is extensively used in various companies on various projects. Today, we are learning about data analytics. In data analytics, Python programming language is heavily used. You will not find this Java, C, C Sharp, JavaScript. All this language you will not find. If I talk about data science, Python programming language is heavily used. If I talk about machine learning, Python programming language is heavily used. If I talk about generative AI or in AI development, Python programming language is heavily used because syntax are simple, flexible, and robust. So what is the learning point? Learning point is Python programming language is dynamically typed. If anyone asks you, what do you mean by dynamically typed? I hope you will be able to explain. If someone asks you, what do you mean by static type? Which language are static type? And can you explain me what do you mean by static type? Then you can explain easily. Although this is a theoretical concept, but very much important. I hope I'm able to explain you. What is the exact meaning of dynamically typed language? What is the exact meaning of static type language? So it's a very important question. If you face a interview completely based on Python programming language, you will get these questions because these questions are conceptual. Do let me know, guys, if you have any doubt.
Got it. Thank you, Sunil.
Okay,
This
fine.
makes sense.
Yep. No. So we have covered this concept. Python is the dynamically typed language. Why this is happening? Because Python programming language is dynamically typed language. Very simple. Now, let me go ahead. So we have seen variable, we have seen data type, and we can check data type using type function. Now let's suppose I have a variable a equals to 88. Simple. So this is a string. A equals to 88, and this is a string. Now my requirement is I want to convert this string to an integer. Is it uh, possible to convert this string to an integer? Tell me, guys. It is possible with the help of typecasting function. So what is typecasting? Typecasting is one of the operation in Python programming language. With the help of this operation, you can convert one data type to another data type. So we will see what is the purpose of converting one data type to another data type. First, let's understand what is exactly typecasting. See, all the concepts are interrelated. Understood? So how we have understood variable, now we have then we have jumped to data type, how to check the data type. We have created variable that hold different data type. Now we have jumped to typecasting, our third concept, that is typecasting. So what is typecasting? Converting one data type to another data type. We'll see one of the use case, don't worry. So this A is what we can check. We can check with the help of type function. What is A? A is string. Now I want to convert this string to integer. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. So there are a couple of typecasting function. So the first function is int function. Int. What is int? Whatever you pass inside int function, it will get converted into integer. There is another typecasting function called float. Whatever you pass inside float, it will get converted into float. Then we have string, str. Whatever you pass inside str, it will get converted into string. Then we have bool. Sorry, bool. It is boolean. Whatever you pass inside boolean, like bool function, it will get converted into boolean data type. We have seen boolean data type, that is true and false. Do let me know, guys, if you have any question till here. Right now, we are starting with the typecasting. So we have a variable that is A, and this particular variable A is holding the string. Now, my requirement is, or let's suppose someone has given me the requirement. Can you convert this A into integer? Very simple. I will simply call int. What I have mentioned right now. That I can pass inside is, you can see before it was within single quotation. Now it is normal integer. Understood? So it's very easy. For example, let's say um, I call int and I pass 3.4. 3.4 is a floating point value. It got converted into integer as 3. Let's suppose I write int 3.9. Let me check this. So 3.9, got converted into integer as 3. See guys, typecasting is very much important. Very, very important. Right now, we are learning typecasting at very basic level. We will see with couple of use case. So couple of use case I will be discussing today, and uh, if anything is left, we'll cover in the next session. Now, let's say I have written A equals to 45, suppose, and B equals to 88. B equals to 88. Now I want to perform addition operation. Now you tell me, guys, this addition operation is feasible or not?
A plus
A
int of
equals, yes,
A plus int of B.
A,
A plus int of B.
yes. 1 second, let me run this. I'm getting this error message. Okay, just one more question I have. So before I go ahead and resolve this error message and I come back to this use case, I have another question. Let's suppose I have written A equals to 7 and B equals to 8.9. Understood, guys? And I written A plus B. So now you tell me, is this summation operation possible? If I run this piece of code, will I be getting any error message or it will run successfully?
It should run.
It should run. Yep, let me run this. Okay. So why I'm able to run this piece of code? Why I'm not able to run this piece of code?
Integer and float are compatible. Integer and string are not compatible.
No, yeah, I completely agree with you. But just try to understand in this way. We are given a correct answer. Just 1 second. Yep. So if I go ahead and explain this concept, it's very simple. We have an integer and we have a float. Very simple. And what Python is doing internally, try to convert 7 as 7.4. And Python is not asking from you, not taking your permission, trying to convert this integer to float. And this is already in float. So they're doing the summation operation, that is 15.9. And it is done. This is called implicit conversion. Implicit. Why it is implicit? Because Python is doing this conversion by itself. Python is not looking for your permission. And this conversion is safe to do. Safe to do. There is no loss of information. You can see here. Now, what if I talk about this operation? Let me. So you understood now what is implicit conversion, guys?
Yes.
If okay, so what is implicit? Python is doing this type conversion by its own, and it is safe to do. What do you mean by safe to do? Because there is no loss of any information. So Python is converting this integer to float and going ahead with the operation. Now, let me erase this. Erase this. Now you have mentioned those are not compatible. That's why I'm getting this error message. You are very much true, but you can explain this in this way also. If I talk about these two, so here A is equals to 45 and B is equals to 88. Got it? Now you are telling the Python compiler A plus B. So there can be two case. Case one, that is Python can go ahead and convert this into string. That is 45 string, 88 string, and can perform the concatenation operation. So in a string, there is no summation operation. There will be a concatenation operation. So something like that, 45 and 88. This is first case scenario. What is the second case scenario? Python can go ahead and convert this 45 into integer. So this is already in integer. So already integer. This is in a string. To try to convert it in a string with the help of input function, as you have mentioned. Now Python can perform the addition and can give you the exact solution. Yep. Tell me.
I doubt case one
See,
will
no,
not
both cases are
work.
feasible. Both cases are feasible. I will just prove right now. Don't worry. But here Python is confused that programmer want to, or the coder is interested in doing case one or interested in doing case two. That's why they have, Python interpreter has given you the type error. Now, what I will do, I will go ahead and I will not erase this. I will not erase this. I will erase this one. Just 1 second. I will erase this one. See what I told. This is case one. Let me go ahead and perform case one. What is the process of doing case one? Str A. What do you mean by str A? I'm converting this integer to string. Got it? Then summation, and B is already string. No need of converting it. Let me run this. Can only concatenate flow string. Just one
That's
second.
what I was trying to say. You cannot add two strings. So
Just
your case
one.
one might not be possible.
Can only concatenate string, not float to string. Just 1 second. No, I have checked this. 1 minute. A is a string. 1 second. 1 second. Let me.
Sure.
Yep. A equals to 45. This was the use case. Now, my job is right now here is to go ahead and what is this coming? I got this 45. I will store this in some variable C. Is it fine?
Okay.
I've stored this in some variable C. Now let me write C plus B. Okay, so let me remove this. Let me comment this particular, sorry, control set. Let me run this. It is working fine. This code has executed. Now let me run this. Now you can see the output. Have you seen here?
Okay.
So why it was not working that time? Na? Maybe it was not able to process it in a single line of code. So what I did, I have taken the same A, and first of all, I converted in the form of a string. So it was in the, now as it got converted in a string, so it is within single quotation. And I stored it in variable C. Now, whatever I have stored in variable C is a string. B is also a string. Now, I perform the summation operation. So summation operation in a string is nothing. It's a concatenation. So 45, 45. Then in the left side, 88. You can see this, the same output. This is first case. This is first case. Just 1 second. This is first case. See, actually, in the interview, they will be not be interested in one-liner. Suppose if you go ahead and prove the stuff with the help of code, then they are more interested in you. Understood? So this is the first case. Now, if I talk about the second case, what will be my second case? In second case, this was mine. This was. So in first case, what I did, I tried to convert this in the form of a string. So now both are compatible and I did concatenation. Now in second case, what I will do, I will try to convert it this in integer. This is already integer. So let me go ahead and write D equals to what you can say, int B. So whatever present inside B, it will get converted into integer and it will get stored in D. So let me print D. How D look like? So now see D is 88. Now D plus A. A is 45. You can see 133. Got it? So both the case is possible, case one and case two. But here my Python compiler got confused with case to implement this case or this case. That's why when we have run this code now for the first time, A plus B, when we run this code for the first time, so it was type error, like unsupported operand. But the backend process is this. Here, two cases are feasible. That's why. Do let me know, guys, if you have any doubt. I can repeat the stuff. But it is very much important that you try to understand the things practically. Whatever you have mentioned, that it was not compatible, it is true. But if someone asks you, can you go ahead and prove it with the help of code, how it is not compatible? Then this is the exact reason. Now, guys, what I will do now, let me remove this. Okay, okay. Now we'll learn a very important concept. So we have already completed we have already completed variable topic. We have done data type and we have done typecasting. So this is an important question with respect to typecasting, whatever I've shown you right now. This is maybe in the interview, they may ask, can you prove this with the help of code? Why I'm getting this error message? Understood? So this is one way. Now we'll go ahead and we'll discuss about input function. A lot to discuss about input function. So we'll discuss a couple of things today. And if anything is left, we'll go ahead and discuss in the next class. So I hope all of you who are present here is aware about input function. But still, I would say you will find input function very much interesting today. So we will be doing a couple of use case with the help of input function. So anyone can help me to understand what is input function? What do you understand by input function? If you have exposure to input function, if you have like anytime work with input function? Anyone, guys? Okay, so I'm expecting like you're not aware about input function. Completely fine. See, input function is used to take input from the user. Very simple. Used to take input from the user. If I want to give you the real use case, it's like ATM machine. When we go to the ATM machine, we insert our card. And now the ATM machine asks for the input. Like what is a card type? It's a saving account or like current account. And you go ahead and ask, do you want to withdraw the amount or do you want to check the balance? If you want to withdraw the amount, then you give the input, and according to that, they ask the PIN code. Once you enter the PIN code, you are able to get the amount. So when you go to the ATM machine, whatever the input you are giving, so in the backend, input function is working. So it's very much simple. So let's suppose I'm interested in taking the input from the user. Let's suppose I want to build an application, and in that particular application, I want to take the input from the user. So what is the process? I will simply call input function. You can see you no need to remember any function. Just make sure that your cursor is inside the function and you can check the function definition. See, input function is expecting the prompt. Input function will try to read a string from standard input. Standard input means keyboard. Understood? So inside input function, I will go ahead and pass the prompt. Let's suppose I want to pass the prompt as enter your name. Very simple. So whatever input, if I run this piece of code, what will happen? I get a dialog box to enter the input. So let's suppose I enter input as John. I will hit enter key. So this John will get stored in this input function. So I need to have a variable to store this John. So let me put it in this way. So whatever the input you are giving inside the input function, it will get stored in a variable A. Let me run this once again. Let me write John, hit enter key. Now let me call variable A. I'm able to print John. So this is one of the very simple, very basic implementation of input function, guys. If you have any doubt how to use input function, do let me know. And you no need to remember anything. Just write input function, make sure that your cursor is inside the input function. Write input function. And your cursor, just 1 second. Oh, see, as your cursor is inside the input function, you can see the function definition. So this function is just expecting the prompt. So you want user to enter something. So which data you want user to enter? So that prompt you have to pass. And whatever the input user will be giving, it will be giving through the standard input. Standard input means keyboard. Understood? Now, let's suppose I want to ask the user to enter your age. Enter your age. Very simple. And whatever the input user will be entering, I will store in the age variable. Understood, guys? I will ask the user to enter the age. Whatever the information user will enter, I will try to store in the age variable. So let's suppose, let me run this. Let's say user enter age as 23. So it got stored in the age variable. Now I will call age variable and I will try to add to this particular age, I will try to add number 10. Now tell me, guys, if I run this piece of code, what will happen? Will I be getting any error message or it will run successfully? Let me run this. So I'm getting error message. Why? Because this input function return string by default. If I talk about this input function has returned string that is within single quotation. So if you go ahead and try to print age, so age is a string. Now, is it feasible? Is it possible to do the computation? I mean, summation operation within age, I mean, string data and integer data? It is not feasible. The same thing we have studied in the typecasting. So what we will do, we'll try to do the typecasting. So we'll pass int. So what int will do, it will try to convert this age to an integer. And it is done. So just I want to conclude the session here itself. Maybe in the next session, I will go ahead and continue with the remaining portion of input function. So what I have just explained you today with respect to input function, how to call input function, whatever the input you are passing inside the input function, how to store in a variable, then how to print that particular variable. By default, input function store the input in the form of a string, as already I've shown you, in the form of a string. So if you want to perform any kind of operation on the value that is stored by input function, try to perform the typecasting. So here I tried to get the input, I mean age, through input function. So age is a string. Now on this age, I want to perform addition operation with integers, then I have to do typecasting. So going forward, we will see a lot of use case with respect to input function. how to give multiple input using input functions, and there are a lot of module get pass with respect to input function. We'll try to explore all those modules. So in next session, we'll try to discuss input function with various use case. Just 1 second. Do let me know, guys, if you have any doubt, any concern till here. So I'm stop sharing my screen. Do let me know, guys, if you have any doubt, any concern till here. I hope you're able to understand whatever the topic, whatever the concept I have explained in today's session. And if you have any doubt, maybe after the session, you can reach out to me. You can DM me. I can help you. It is completely fine. Understood? So Mahesh, are you here?
Yes, Sunil, I am there here.
Mm,
So will there hurry and
I think Mahesh, they have recently left the session, like in like maybe
okay.
5 minutes back or a couple of
Okay,
minutes.
anyway, I'll go ahead and ping in the group. Okay, no? Better, right?
Okay, Mahesh, you can ping in
Yeah.
the group.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay,
Paul. Thanks, Sunil.
yeah. Thank you
Bye.
guys for attending the session. Yeah, completely fine. Okay, bye.